So here is Good American, aka Sully. His actual jockey club name is Nugget of Grace, but he's sired by American, and his mother was named In Good Company. So we kind of like the ring of Good American. So coming down the center line, this is his first time in a dressage ring, and you saw typical kind of baby horse is like, am I supposed to jump the white things? So I had to kind of do oh no. But I'm actually quite pleased with how he's settling into this test. And again, this is his first schooling show. So we're just kind of going through the motions a little bit and working on getting him to kind of come through his body. He's quite a nice mover, but he can hold tension and kind of feel like a little bit of a bouncy ball per se. But I'm quite happy with how he's letting me ride him in this. He's handling it pretty well as he's kind of sorting out things here. And very typical of the young horses, they kind of like don't understand being next to the boards. And again, just telling them that no, we don't jump them. The dressage ring is not a jump. And into our walk, and again, in the beginning with the young horses, I don't really have a ton of expectations. I just want to do walk, trot, canter. And so getting him to relax, that is the biggest key, is relaxation for them, especially at this level. And this is our free walk. So he's a little distracted, but he's doing a nice walk. I think that will come better and better once he understands the job. And then putting him together in a working walk, which I was quite thrilled with how good he was here. He didn't anticipate. He was staying on my aids. And then we go into our trot at F. And again, I think once he gets stronger and stronger and more confident in his body, he's going to really come through his body in his movement. So he's a little bit up and down right now, but again, that's a little bit of the tension that's in there, and you can see glimpses of when he comes through and over his back. But overall, I was quite pleased with the feeling he was giving me. So coming into our left lead canter, he got a little bit insecure. You can see he kind of wants to put his haunches to the left a little bit because I think he felt a little slippery. I didn't have studs in or anything, but just helping him hold his balance here with holding a little bit more with my left leg and giving a little bit support to the contact. And again, I kind of lost him a little bit of moving away from the board, so I tried to do a little bit of a correction of a little leg yield, like, hey, no, stay next to the boards. And then coming down the center line, very nice and straight, and into the halt. Very nice and square. Really pleased. I did end up scoring a 37.5. I thought it was a little bit better than that, but so it goes. The biggest thing was just for him to have a positive experience. So then heading into show jump, he did get a little bit nervous, kind of waiting to go, but that will come along with experience and learning patience. The biggest thing I've been working on for him, show jumping wise, is just staying relaxed to the base. He kind of got a little bit too close, and he doesn't kind of stay off the fence per se. So we had that rail. But he has a lot of power and a lot of scope. Again, the biggest thing I'm looking for is just relaxation, and I want it to feel easy for him. So to help with his mind a little bit. So making sure I can get into a close distance. I don't really want to take the long spots for him. And just trying to make sure I can keep him in a nice rhythm where I can get nice and tidy to the jumps. He's very, very brave, so that's never really an issue. And again, that was just a balance thing. So sometimes with the young horses, if they want to drop to the trot, I absolutely will let them, especially at this level. I don't really want to rush them or push them past if they feel like they need that for balance. And he jumps through the double quite nicely. So I was really pleased with that round. And then we headed out to the cross country. And again, this is just a big learning experience for him. He doesn't really quite know what to expect, so I decided to let him ease out of the start box and just trot out. And again, my goal is going to be the same, just kind of keep a nice slow rhythm and really help him learn to relax. Fairly typical of the young horses is have talent, need direction. So sometimes we go a little bit sideways, or we feel like we're a little crooked. But again, he's feeling nice and brave, and heading to fence number 3, which is a blue coop, which sometimes can really get the young horses to spook, and especially when it's a bit muddy. He did not care at all. If anything, he kind of went past the distance. But you can see the rain's really coming down now. And I'm just trying to get him here to really just take a breath and relax. And working on him coming over his back. And working our way up to this little rail here. And again, he has very good knees. He's very snappy with his knees. If anything, I've got to get him to follow through a little bit more through his back, but that will come. And sometimes it's hard when they're so brave because they don't really back off the jump. You know, sometimes when you have a horse that is willing to give a little bit of a peek, it's easier. And I typically don't canter into water. I was going to let him drop to trot, but he kind of just felt like he wanted to canter, so I let him. Making sure I stay back with my body, coming to this little table, and he jumps that fantastic. And he was very good because he wasn't super like how some could be about wanting to go back to the trailer park or anything like that. He was pretty focused on the job. And he makes pretty light work of the next couple of jumps as we are we're on the top of the hill and we're heading to the little half coffin for beginner novice. And this is where I really start to feel that he settles down as I'm coming to this. Have a little coop that's a good distance away. And he's, again, very brave about ditches, so that's not a problem at all. We almost get a little awkward distance and he had to do some good footwork. But right there, you could see him just take a breath, and then that was quite lovely. That's exactly what I was looking for. That just relaxation on the cross country. And he finished up the rest of the course quite beautifully, and I was really pleased with him. He finished up 8th in his first little schooling show, and I think he's going to be an exciting horse for the future.